either. I'm just saying, that we've got to be real careful here with Ashley Yoder. I mean, with Emily Ducote laying minus 400.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I mean, the line is super wide for Ducote. I mean, this girl's already 1-2 only 1-2 in the UFC. She had a pretty much fucking war with Godinez as well. I do like her striking a little bit. She's got some decent boxing. She's got a crisp jab. I like her volume, some counter striking. I mean, there's more, I think, to like on that side, even though I don't want to lay the minus 400. But yeah, but even Ashley Yoder, look, what's she, 3-7 in the UFC? Like, you're not getting much better. She's on a 2-year layoff at this point. She doesn't move her fucking head. She's hittable. I don't like her wrestling. I think she's slow. She's heavy on her lead leg. And man, she got outstruck by fucking Jin Yu Fraud.
Yes, she did.
I mean, that should tell you something. Also, she lost to Marcos as well. So I mean, I don't know how many nails you have to put in the coffin, but minus 400 is absolutely fucking ridiculous. I don't know how Ducote wins this fight. Do you have an opinion on her method of victory?
Ducote, I mean, it's probably going to be decision, but the thing is, look, Ashley Yoder's got 8 professional losses. She's never been finished.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something to be said for that. She's a durable girl. She's been out there. She's losing on the regular, and nobody's stopping her. But there are points in her fights where you're like, oh, damn, another 10 seconds in that round. I don't know if it was, it was the Jin Yu Fry fight. I think it was at the end of the first or the second round. She was this close to finishing Ashley, and now here she is. She's 36 now, so we're talking about much older, 2-year layoff, like you said. So I suppose there's a chance that Emily could finish her, but Ashley Yoder, 10 UFC fights. Emily Ducote, 3 UFC fights. Every single one of them, Mushroom, has went to decision, so I don't know, yeah, maybe Ducote does get a finish here. I don't know if you want to be betting it, though.
No. Yeah, I'm not putting much money on this fight. Obviously, maybe throw her in a parlay of some sort, something like that. But as far as a bet, it's not getting any of my money.
Yeah. Me neither, man. Me neither. I'm staying away from this one.
Absolutely. Like I said, maybe put it in some kind of bullshit parlay where you can put a bunch of them fucking kind of crazy favorites together. Maybe it is.
Yeah.
Chris Gutierrez versus Ali. What the fuck's that guy's name? Eli Alatang. They go backwards, don't they?
A lot of the Alatang Haley is what they call him on the broadcasts, and that's how they do it. But I maintain an MMA database, so I need first names and last names. So I always reverse it and I call him Haley Alatang because that's a first name and a last name, and I have to categorize it that way as a statistician. So I always say it wrong.
Me too. I'm putting all these names though. A lot of these things. Hey, it is what it is. I'm gonna start off on the Gutierrez side. He's 4-1 his last 5. The guy's 32 years old. He's a striker. He's a decent striker. I think he's got some power in his hands. 60% strike accuracy as well. Fuck, he's got some real good leg kicks too. Good front kicks. I like his footwork, side to side. He does spinning stuff. He's got like a 74% takedown defense as well, but his get-up game's good. So if you get him down, he's going to get right back up. I like his cardio. Now, a couple red flags. I know he'd be low volume. He kind of fights close as well because he has a lot of splits and fucking draws and shit on his fucking record. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's fighting close. On the other side of this fight, Haley Alatang, 3-1-1 in his last 5. The guy's 31 years old, MMA type dude. He's a decent striker. He does have power in his hands. He's got a real good left hook. Come forward. He can wrestle. He can grapple. But I think this is like a step up here. I think he's hittable. I think he could be low volume, suspect level of competition. Seems like he struggles at range. I mean, all this points to me. I kind of even like that little third round / decision play here for Gutierrez. That's how I'm playing this one. Gutierrez, third round / decision. What are your thoughts, Uncle Weezy?
Yeah, so Alatang is a heavy hitter, right? I mean, he's he kind of stalks. He's kind of low volume. I mean, he's attempting 9.72 distance strike attempts per minute spent at distance. It's about 2 less than the divisional average. So he's kind of low. He's kind of low volume. But man, like when you watch his fights and he lands, like you hear it. It makes a noise, and you're like, "Ooh, boy, man, that didn't sound good." And when he fought Tanah Bakary, you saw him land a couple of big right hands, and then end of the first round, dude, that the entire half of his face is closed off and completely swollen up, and you're like, "Wow, man." Alatang hits hard, dude, and Alatang can absolutely wrestle too. He's one of these Mongolian dudes who's now Chinese, comes from Mongolia to China. And these Mongolian cats can wrestle, flat out wrestle. And he's just heavy when he does wrestle. But for some reason, he waits until the third round to wrestle. No takedowns in rounds 1 or 2 in any of his 6 UFC fights. And then he's got 9 takedowns in the third round. It's like 3 different fights where he's out there wrestling in round 3 to try to win a decision. So I'd like to see Haley wrestle more, especially against Gutierrez.
Sure.
If I'm betting Haley Alatang, I'm thinking A, either he lands a big shot, or B, maybe he is going to wrestle 2 out of these 3 rounds and try to win some minutes that way. Try to slow down Gutierrez's strike. Why not wrestle early? Grind on the guy a little bit, especially if he's a good striker. Tire him out a little bit. Take a little bit of the sting off the punches and the kicks. But he doesn't do that. So and Gutierrez's striking metrics, Mushroom, they're really good, dude. They're really good. Like on my spreadsheets, everything's above average. 57.6% accuracy at distance. That's way above average. 67.4% striking defense at distance. He's landing 5.87 and only absorbing 3.1, So that's a 1.89 to 1 ratio of significant strikes landed at distance. So Gutierrez is a very, very good minute winner at distance. So if Haley Alatang, who throws less volume than his opponents, who's below average in terms of the amount of strikes that he lands, if he just stays at distance and wants to kickbox with this dude, he's going to get outpointed until he lands that big shot. And a lot of times the big shot doesn't land. So I'm thinking Chris Gutierrez by decision here, but you're paying over 50% implied probability for that. So I mean, I hate to say like, oh, it's a stay away. It's a stay away. Well, from a betting perspective, it's a stay away for me.
I hear you. No, it makes absolute sense. And like I said, with the fighting close as well, and then if Alden does decide to wrestle in the third round and really dominates that round, like, yeah, I don't know. I still like the Gutierrez side. I'm going to buy that third round / decision. You're on the decision. Like that. Looks like we're lining up on that one.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this to you, Weezy. But the next fight is Irina Alekseeva versus Melissa Dixon. What are your thoughts on that?
So I think it's an interesting one, actually. I mean, like, so we didn't know much about Irina coming in, right? She's 4-1 when she comes into the UFC. And there's not much tape on her. We're like, what the hell, and then there's that haircut, and then she's dancing around, and then she misses weight by 4 pounds, and then is flexing on the scales, and like then doing like, yeah, and then she like did the whole like dancing, and it's like, dude, bitch, you just missed weight by 4 pounds. Get the fuck out of here and go apologize, and then apologize for that haircut. You owe us an apology for that fucking haircut too. So, but she didn't do any of that. And then what does she do? She goes in there on fight day and she submits Stephanie Egger, who's an ADCC credentialed grappler, a judo champion for the continent. She's a good fighter, and I was like, man, I didn't see that coming. But then when I went back and I watched the tape, Irina's very aggressive with her jiu-jitsu. When she's on the feet, she's marching forward, just throwing the kitchen sink at you. So I think she's going to be live. I think she's going to be live potentially even for an early finish here. You see kind of what Daria Železniakova did to Melissa Dixon in the first round of their fight before she got taken down. She was piecing up Melissa at range. So I'm thinking the way to play this might be the under. You know, the under 2.5 rounds. The fight doesn't go to decision because I could see the way Arena fights. This fight gets out around 1. She's not going to be able to push that pace for 3 rounds unless she's like on EPO or something. So,
Right.
I kind of feel like if she, you know, if Melissa can weather that early storm, she can get a finish with ground and pound. I could see Arena rolling for a knee bar when she's tired, winding up underneath her, and Melissa just pounding her out like Manus did to Mendoza last week. So, I like violence here. I picked Arena Alexeva to win the fight, but I'm not going to be betting her. It's just not enough plus money. So yeah, I'm staying away from it from a money line perspective, but under 2.5 rounds, fight doesn't go to decision. That I like.
You know, I love both of those plays because I do think this fight ends inside the distance, like you said. Probably Irina early, or like you said, it could be Melissa Dixon, I guess, late. But I do like the Alexeva side in this fight. Just a couple things I like. I mean, she's an okay striker. She does have power in her hands. She does wing fucking bombs. She gets knockdowns. 4-inch reach advantage in this spot. She's aggressive, like you said. She's fucking strong, too. She's big for this fucking division. She's got decent elbows. I like her elbows as well. She can wrestle. She's a decent grappler. She can get top control. She gets ground and pound. She's strong in the clinch. Probably not by a big margin, but I think she may have even fought some of the better competition. God, that fucking dance, though, in that fucking video from the last fucking fight. What the her haircut. So she does make a lot of bad decisions outside of the ring. I hope stuff doesn't translate inside the ring as well. You know, Melissa Dixon, she's making her UFC debut. What's she, 5-0 or something like that? Her last
5-0. Yeah, 5-0.
That's her whole career, right?
Yeah.
Decent striker. I think she could definitely be the more technical of the two. She's aggressive as well. She also has good clinch work. She can wrestle. She's got some decent jiu-jitsu. Good top pressure. Again, ground and pound. But the thing about Melissa Dixon is she does start slow, in my opinion. Also, like I said, probably lesser competition than what Alexiva's faced. And Melissa Dixon seems a little hittable, in my opinion, as well. Yeah, I'm on the Alexiva side, inside the distance. But I 100% love the under in this fight. I'm not sure what it's at right now. I'm definitely going to play the under in this fight. I love that play. I'm glad you brought that one in. And I like my fighter, my side, inside the distance as well. So, yeah, I think it can actually happen, and I'm going to be on that play as well. I definitely like that one, Uncle Weezy. Yeah. But yeah, hit my Zach real quick and get back to it. Oh, and then I didn't notice. So what happened was the first minute and 30 seconds we were talking live, I missed it. And then I was like, wait a minute, I don't see it saying live, and I hit go live. So our first 2 minutes, everybody missed.
Yeah, that's the key. You hit that video thing, and then you hit go live right after you hit the video thing. And I didn't notice it. I'm enough of I should have known. I should have known that we were going already. Yeah,
I'm good. Hey, I'm one of these ship here. I gotta fucking pay attention a little bit. Real fight picks. Thank you. Yup. Yeah. God almighty. Ram Dog played the under plus 120. Alex Mateo plus 1100. That's a nice price. Like I said. Yeah. He's hittable. So
I don't mind it.
Yup, not at all. Oh yeah, that's right. Come January 1st, everybody's on. Oh yeah. Yup. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yep, I love it. All right, we're going to move on up the card. Terrence McKinney versus Brendan Marotte. Is that his name? Something like that?
Marotte.
Is that it?
Yeah, Marotte.
Bring your names in the Mushrooms Butcher Company, and we'll fucking butcher them as good as they've ever been butchered. Trust me. But Terrence McKinney, 2-3 in his last 5. The guy's 29 years old, MMA guy. Good power in his hands. I like his knees. He's fast. He's explosive. Good wrestling. Good jiu-jitsu. I like his sub game. He's got a good body triangle too. You go back. Yeah, listen, 100% finish rate. And he does well when he's stepping down. And I think this is a step down, in my opinion, obviously. But this dude is truly kill or be killed, though. So, I mean, he's going to either, what do they say? Kill by the sword or go out on the shield or whatever the fuck it is. But he's kill or be killed. And his cardio, obviously, after round one. You know what I mean? Who knows what it's going to be like. But on the other side of this fight, Moreau, 4-1 in his last 5. I guess he's a decent striker. He also has some power in his hands. He has an okay ground game, but man, short notice, hands low. He's fucking hittable. Suspect level of competition. This is definitely a step up here. He doesn't deal with body shots well. I noticed this kid really doesn't deal with a body shot well. Suspect takedown defense. This dude's what 8-1, and I think his last opponent was like an 11-20 dude or some shit like that.
Yeah,
they're real sketchy. I think they're just bringing this kid in here to get fucking slaughtered. I like McKinney, but how do you play it at these numbers, though? Seriously, but I like McKinney. McKinney's sub 1, McKinney inside the distance, but don't even know how playable they are because Rivers does not have any of those props up yet.
Yeah, dude, I mean, I was looking earlier on Bet Online. They didn't even have an over-under for this fight. Let me look real quick here on mine and see if they've even... Okay, it looks like we've got an over-under on it now, and it is the under 1.5 mushroom. All right, can I interest you in minus 325? Minus 325 for the under 1.5 rounds here.
Wow.
That's disgusting.
Liz,
that is disgusting. That is disgusting. I don't know if I have ever seen a number that fat. Dude, that is like a 77% implied probability for an under 1.5 rounds. When in that division, I have the benchmark. Let me get the benchmark for that division for under 1.5 rounds. It is, drum roll, please. Actually, I'm lying. I don't have it right in front. Well, wait a second here. I've got it on the this is a lightweight fight. So lightweight fights go under 1.5 rounds 32% of the time. 32.83% of the time they go under 1.5 rounds here, and the implied probability of the betting line is 77%. So yeah, they're staying out of the way. They don't really feel like taking your action for violence in this fight. Terrence McKinney round 1. Let's see if that's available. No, there's still no props out on it. So yeah, Terrence McKinney round 1. If you can get it at plus money, maybe that's worth a little couch cushion money or something like that, But what I'm gonna probably do is play Murat round 2. Murat round 3 at something silly, like it's something like plus 4,000, plus 6,000, because this kid is, he's plus 400 on the money line, So why not get it at almost 100 to 1 and just hope, because we know, look, you don't lay minus 600 on a guy that's got 4 minutes of fighting in him, do you? Just get the first round prop and know that way, if the first round ends, you're out of your money, that's fine, but he's probably not finishing him in the second either. Right. So I that's how I would play this one. I'm gonna try to hit a grand slam with like 1/10 of a unit on Murat round 3 at like something like plus 6,000. I'm hoping for.
I absolutely love that strategy. I was doing well this year on Dana White's Contender Series by just playing underdogs 2 and 3. And I got burnt this last card because the underdogs fucking finished them in round 1 2 times. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it just has to go to that 2 and 3. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. The kid is 100%. If he survives that early storm, that is Terrence McKinney, the kid has an absolute chance of finishing this fight, because that's just what happens. He's either going to get you out of there early, or you can get him out of there, because he doesn't go to fucking decision. So,
yeah, dude. I mean, like Terrence McKinney, dude. He's hell unleashed in round 1. You get to that 5-minute mark, man, he falls apart like a Chinese motorcycle.
Love it. Yeah, you're 100% right. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. Tanera Lisboa versus Ravina Oliveira. Thoughts?
I smell an ass shaving, my friend. I smell an ass shaving, on this one, dude. I'm going with Tanara Lisboa.
Yeah.
So Tanara's high level world champion in Muay Thai. So the striking base, that was her MMA, or that was her base to MMA, and now she's been a professional mixed martial artist for 7 years now, and you're starting to see the progression. Right, her first fight was against Norma Dumont, and she's beating the piss out of Norma Dumont on the feet, right? And then there's a scramble. Norma gets to her back, rear naked choke, and it's over in the very first round. But Tanara's come a long way from there. But the striking, it's always been there. And when I'm watching this Ravenna Oliveira, she's okay, right? She does a little bit of everything, I mean, she's scrappy, she's got good conditioning, she throws with purpose on the feet, she gets some takedowns, she gets some ground and pound. She's even got a win by submission too. So she's okay, but she's not spectacular anywhere. So I do see Lisboa kind of probably keeping this fight standing and then landing big shots on the feet, potentially getting her out of there. This is a pretty juiced fight to the under for a women's fight, for a bantamweight fight. And Oliveira kind of bounces around between 125 and 135, while Lisboa has been bouncing around between 135 and 145. So Lisboa is going to be bigger. She's going to be the much better striker. And I think that she's in a place right now where she can actually make a run in this division, because the women's bantamweight division is a goddamn mess, So you put together 2 or 3 wins, you might be getting a call to face, whoever the champion is this week. Now that Amanda Nunes retired. So yeah, man, it's Tanara Lisboa. I think she makes it look pretty easy from what I've seen on tape against Oliveira.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm right there with you. I like Lisboa inside the distance. Lisboa, 4-1 her last 5, 32 years old. I like her Muay Thai. I like her striking. She has power in fucking hands too, and they're straight, crisp fucking punches, man. I like her clinch knees. So if you get mixed up in a clinch, she's got good knees there. She can also wrestle. She can grapple. She can get subs. 100% finish rate. She's durable. Maybe a little suspect regional competition. Not all of it, but some of it. But Oliveira on the other side, make her UFC debut. She's a decent striker, and she has a little bit of power in her hands. Decent jab. She has decent clinch work as well. I think she's like a BJJ purple belt or some shit like that. So, she can grapple, I guess. She's strong. I did see her have a little bit of some decent ground and pound here and there. Another one with a 100% finish rate. She has some late finishes too. But short notice, UFC debut, hittable. I think she's moving up this time again. Terrible level of competition, in my opinion. Lots of 0-0 fighters, 0-1 fucking opponents. What the fuck? Lisboa here all day. Like you said, she makes it look easy. And I have Lisboa. There's my little prenup. There you go. Finish inside distance, baby. So
there you go.
Yeah, I like that play. Love it. And I'm glad that we agree on that one.
Yeah, she's the ass shaving of the week, and I never make women ass shavings of the week because they let me down every damn time. So I'm ready to put my little bit of a winning streak on the line here. I think Lisboa does get it done inside the distance. I think she shaves Oliveira's ass, makes it look easy.
I agree. I need to hear it too. Love it. Moving on to the card, we got Darren Elkins versus TJ Brown. I guess I'll start us off on this one. Darren Elkins, 3-2 in his last 5, 39 years old, wrestler. I like his striking too. He's got power in his fucking hands. Comes forward, pace, pressure. He's bigger here. He's going to be stronger, in my opinion. Man, and he's got that fucking dog in him. Just seems like he doesn't go his way. He's fucking relentless, man. In high school, when he was a wrestler, I think he won like 90% of the matches the guy was involved in. He's a really good wrestler, especially at the high school level. Good jiu-jitsu. Look, he can get subs. I like his cardio. More pro and UFC experience. Better competition, in my opinion. This is a step down here for him, I think. He does well when he's stepping down. Another one of these guys does really well when stepping down. I mean, he's hittable, but he's kind of fucking durable at the same time. It's weird. Maybe he's kind of slowing a little bit at 39. Obviously, his name will indicate he has taken a lot of fucking damage. I know he's coming off that meniscus and fucking fibia and all types of shit. And as Brady's wife, who is a medical expert, say that's big.
It's bad. It's bad. I mean, I heard it like from her lips to our ears at the time on the show. I mean, you don't get that kind of analysis anywhere else but on Stat Digger's Mushroom.
That's everything. That's right. Yeah, I know he gets bloodied up like a motherfucker too because there's so much fucking scar tissue. I get that. But TJ Brown on the other side, 3-2 in his last 5, 33 years old. He's a decent striker. He's got power in his hands. He can put up some volume. I mean, he can wrestle. I think he's got like a 55% takedown accuracy or something. Decent grappler. I think he's okay in scrambles, but man, he's hittable. I think his durability is fucking suspect. His takedown defense is shitty at like 36%, and Elkins is going to want to get this fucking fight to the ground. Plus, I think TJ Brown has poor fight IQ. He has a suspect level of competition. Even his UFC wins aren't the best. 7 of his 10 losses come with inside the distance. I already played Elkins on the money line. I already played Elkins inside the distance, and I already played Elkins round 2 and Elkins round 3. So I'm heavy with Elkins. Hopefully they all come to fruition. But I like Darren Elkins in the spot here. I did take him on a money line at plus 125 or 150, whatever I got him at. And then I think it's plus 3 something, 330. Yeah, 330 for the finish. 150 for the money line, 330 for the finish. So, yeah. What are your thoughts on Weezy?
Yeah, I've got a bet on Darren Elkins here. I've got 1 unit on his money line. I got it at plus 180. I got that perfect, I was like, all right, that's the one. I'm getting that now, and it's come back down to about plus 160. At 155, 160, you could still be had at. And like, look, this is the fight game, Mushroom. We're going to be wrong so often, like my man Smooth Jimmy Apollo used to say, folks, when you're right 52% of the time, you're wrong 48% of the time, So we're going to be wrong. Every once in a while, we're going to be spectacularly wrong, And yeah, I mean, I bet Sergey Spivak against Cyril Gane, He got... It wasn't close, I mean, I got my ass shaved on that bet, but every once in a while, you're going to look like that when you bet on MMA. And yes, Darren Elkins might get hit once and burst an artery, and then just like fucking crumble to the floor and die. He might get kicked in the leg once and that leg might just like disappear, that could absolutely happen. But here's what I also know about Darren Elkins. You could kick off the bottom of his leg and he would bitch out the referee for stopping the fight. I still got one leg. Like he's gonna fight for your money. Doesn't matter whether it's minus 300 or plus 300 or minus 110. You bet on Darren Elkins. That guy is gonna go out there and fight to the death for your money. So I love that. You know what else I love? Is the fact that Darren Elkins is so relentless, right? With the grappling. That's something he's always done. He's attempted 144 takedowns since January 1st, 2013. Okay? He's averaging 8.39 takedown attempts per 15 minutes. This guy, like you said, one of the most decorated high school wrestlers in any state at any time, 191-9 over 4 years. 4 state championships, Greco-Roman and freestyle. Okay. Darren Elkins is a legend. Okay. TJ Brown is legendary for making bad decisions in the barber chair, bad decisions in the cage, bad decisions in life. So with a guy like Elkins, right, Brown is going to leave openings. And if you don't kill Darren Elkins, he'll find that opening like he did in the 3rd round of the Bektic fight. Like he did in the 3rd round of so many fights, dude. I mean, Darren Elkins, you don't kill him. He comes out in the 3rd. You make one mistake and he's on your back and he's choking you out, or he's ground and pounding you out. And God, couldn't you see that happening to TJ Brown? Couldn't you see him posting for like 11 minutes and then just bonehead pulling a shit dumbass move, gets reversed, and then gives up his back and he's getting choked out. And you're like, oh my God, it happened again. TJ Brown just absolutely stepped on his dick again. You know, and I mean, so I'm looking for the fattest round 3 sub prop I can find on Darren Elkins, and I'm gonna put enough down to win like 10 units. Because I'm serious, because it will probably only need to be like 0.25 units. You know what I'm saying? If you get it at 40 to 1, you can win 10 units with a quarter unit bet. And Elkins is a pretty big underdog. We know his third round magic happens all the time. So I love Elkins round 2, love Elkins round 3, love Elkins potentially by submission, I think is a really good way to get him. And if you're betting that TJ Brown side, he's not knocking out Darren Elkins. I don't think that that's happening, and he's definitely not submitting him. So I think if you think that TJ Brown is going to finish Elkins, pick the knockout, because the referee could always stop the fight if Elkins winds up in a bad spot, right? So he's not submitting him. Darren Elkins has 38 professional fights. He's been submitted once, and it was Charles Oliveira, So
that's going to happen.
TJ Brown is not submitting Darren Elkins. I got news for everybody. So if you think he's going to win inside the distance, TJ Brown by KO, he could also win a decision here. And I wouldn't be surprised if Elkins just fell apart, 30 seconds into this fight. He's been through it, man. He's an absolute veteran. He's fought everybody. He's tough as nails. I'm going one more ride. Darren Elkins money line, and I'm looking to cash on a third round sub prop, because I think TJ Brown is going to fuck up at some point in this fight.
Love it. I already got the third round sprinkled, and I'm going to sprinkle a little more on that sub in the third round too. I really love it.
Let's go.
Yeah, love it. Christian Rodriguez versus Cameron Simon. Let you kick this one off, Uncle Weezy.
God, what a great fight this is, Mushroom. I'm so looking forward to this. These are two phenomenal prospects. Christian Rodriguez, great boxing, good power, really good grappling game that he showed off in the Raul Rosas Jr. fight. Fantastic Anaconda series. You leave your head out there against this guy in a scramble, he can lock it up and finish the fight. Guillotine or Anaconda. So this guy can knock you out on the feet. He can win minutes, and he can submit you. So I love everything about Christian Rodriguez, and he's still not even 26 years old yet. But with Christian, we got to be aware of the weight, right? Missed weight on the Contender Series. Missed weight in the was it the Weems fight? I think he made weight in the Weems fight. I think he missed weight in the Raul Rosas Jr. fight. So 2 out of 3 fights in the UFC, this guy has missed weight. And that is a bad, bad thing, and one of them was a 145 fight against Pierce. So, Christian Rodriguez has got to get the weight cut on point. So before you go balls deep on a Christian Rodriguez bet, you want to see this guy on the scale. Make sure that he had a good weight cut. Make sure that he did things right, because he's got to learn from that. He's still only 25. He's got to get that weight cut dialed in. It won't get any easier when he's 30. And then Cameron Simon is a high volume kickboxer, and man, this guy's conditioning is absolutely. Here's a combination of 3 attributes, Mushroom, that I think makes an almost a very difficult fighter to deal with. That's elite conditioning, pace, whether it's you're shooting a ton of takedowns or whether you're throwing a bunch of strikes, and a chin. So if you can take shots, you move. So pace and pressure is really one of them. Conditioning is the other, and a chin is the third thing. You mix those 3 things, and believe me, Cameron Simon has all 3 of those attributes. Great chin, great volume and pressure and pace, and a great we've already talked about it. He's just gonna be a difficult guy to deal with, because you're not gonna knock him out, and he's going to keep going, and he's going to turn up that pace as the fight goes on. So I really want to see Christian Rodriguez on the scale here, because if he doesn't look good on the scale, I might be taking a shot at Simon round 3 or Simon by decision here.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I too think this fight goes to decision. I am on the other side of the fight. I guess I'll just start off with Christian Rodriguez. 4-1 in his last fight. The guy's 25 years old, freestyle fighter. The guy's pretty well rounded, in my opinion. Good striker, technical, 4-inch reach advantage, power in his hands. He can put on some volume. He can put on pressure. And what I like about him, how he's like, he's one of those touch, boom guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He'll touch sometimes, and then he'll let you fucking have it. And sometimes I don't catch off guard because you might think it's just another touch coming at you. He's good at range, uses it well. I like his strike defense. I think he's a good wrestler. Like, what's he got? Like almost a 60% takedown accuracy or something.
Yeah, 3 of 5, 60%. Yeah.
Yeah, love it. He's hunting for subs while he's down there. He'll get them. He has 4 of them, I think. I like how he stays calm. I really like that attribute about him as well. He stays calm under pressure. He's durable. I know he lost to Pierce, but there was, it was a different weight class, and it was short notice as well.
Yeah.
And we see what Jonathan Pierce is about nowadays anyway. So, look, I like Rodriguez's cardio as well. Here he is with a 77% finish rate. I think he's fought good competition. And on the other side of this fight, Cameron Simon, 5-0 his last 5. Decent striker, again, power in his hands, volume, like you said. And the kicks, just lots of kicks. Pressure. He's durable. He's got a good chin. Like, he can walk through your shots to try to get to you as well. Here's another pretty decent wrestler with a 67% or something takedown accuracy. Slick rap when he's on the ground. Decent ground and pound as well. He hunts for subs. I think he has 1 sub, but I mean, he is actively hunting for them. Another guy, he's at a 78% finish rate. Good cardio, like you said. That's just another weapon. But I think Rodriguez also has that weapon as well. In my opinion, this is a step up for Cameron Simon. He fought suspect competition on the regionals. He's willing to take risks. Sometimes that's pretty good. Sometimes it's not pretty good. He does make mistakes on the ground. I think Rodriguez capitalizes here. I think he wins by decision. Yeah, I don't think either one of these guys are fixed against each other. I like it to go to decision, but I like the Rodriguez side here. So.
Yeah, and look, I mean, I'm actually picking Rodriguez to win the fight as well. But what I said was, like, if Rodriguez looks like shit on the scales or he misses weight again, I think Simon might win this fight. And then, like, because Simon by decision is something like plus 280. I don't think he's finishing Christian Rodriguez. I mean, maybe a late finish, but I mean, like, that would be something that I might play a half unit on. If on weigh-in day I'm watching him and I'm like, oh man, he looks bad, then yeah, I could absolutely see, there. And and by the way, yeah, Kiwi Brew's right, dude. This guy Simon fouls the shit out of everybody. You should be absolutely getting on that point deduction prop on DraftKings at plus 2,000 for this one. This is a yam bag special, if anything, here. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna bet that actually right now. Forgot about that. Fucking dude. He's such a cheater, pumpkin eater, man.
Yeah. Edgar Chairez versus Daniel Lacerda. I guess you can start us off on this one.
So this is what I wanted to just say about this one, Mushroom, and it rears its ugly head over and over and over and over again. The rematch is almost never just like the first fight, and it's not always just like that the other guy wins. It's just that, maybe this time it's by decision, but like, look, these guys are all professional fighters. They learn and they get better after every fight, and they learn from mistakes after every fight. And their coaches are going to see things in that moment in the cage that are like, oh, I wish we would have done this, or I wish we would have tried this. And I wish we would have worked more on this in camp. Well, now they know they're fighting each other again, and here we go. Maybe it turns out a little bit differently this time. But like the problem is whenever you have a fight that was supposed to happen, and then the bookies get
Ooh.
get a week's worth of information from us about how we want to bet that fight, then the fight doesn't happen. Then they remake that fight.
Yep.
Dude, as a gambler, I mean, like there's often nothing left on the bone for you. The bookies have already picked it all off. They know
Yep.
what we want. So at that point, it's either get contrarian or just stay away, or just be the type person like, hey, fuck it, I'm parlaying them anyway. I don't care. If you're
Right.
one of those dudes that's like putting together 10-leg parlays, then yeah, you're betting Kyrez here. You're not betting Lacerda, right? I mean, Kyrez was this close to finishing them already. So you would just bet that. But, as a gambler, I'm telling you, man, it's not going to finish this by guillotine in the first round, probably, even though that's what a lot of people would just say, like, yeah, I bet he catches him in that again. Nah, he's probably not getting caught in that again. It's probably going to take place in a different way this time. So, yeah. And then what was it? Like the under 1.5 is something like minus 220 or so, or it's crazy, dude. It's a very, very fat line. Yeah, I'm under 1.5 minus 185. So there's very little meat on that bone either.
No, you're right about that. The way I look at it is, on the Chara side, he's kind of well rounded. I like his striking. I think he's got power in his hands. I like his jab. Got a decent left hook, 2-inch reach advantage. I like his kicks. He's got good leg kicks. He's an okay wrestler. He does have decent jiu-jitsu. He'll hunt for subs. He's also looking for subs off his back. 100% finish rate, durable, good cardio. I think that's one of the keys in this fight is the cardio issue. I know that Chares or Sharon, how are you saying it?
Kyrez.
Ires, okay,
Yeah.
is applauding, and he does have suspect takedown defense, but again, he can play a little bit of jiu-jitsu off his back, so I kind of like that. Lacerda, 4-1 in his last 5, something like that. What's he, 27 years old, and he has fucking cardio like that? I mean, I don't know, man. Look, I like his striking, early. He's got power in his fucking hands. I like his front kicks. He's got good leg kicks. He does some spinning shit. He did kind of pace himself in the last fight, too, but yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I know he's a decent wrestler, decent grappler. He'll get subs. Another guy with a 100% finish rate. Another truly kill or be killed guy. God, he's kind of hittable, though. And he's kind of fucking chitty. I don't like his cardio. I don't care if he paces himself. What's he going to get another half fucking round out of his cardio instead of being dead after the first? He'll be dead after, 7.5 minutes. I don't know. Only passed round 1.5 once. I'm going to still go on the Torres side. I still kind of like a little bit of what I saw. I know they don't always work out the same way. I'm going to take Charles, obviously, inside the distance. And, yeah, not going to put a lot of money on it. Like you said, probably be part of a parlay or something like that, but that's about it.
Yeah. I mean, Kyrez round 2 could be an interesting look. Because Lacerda just doesn't have a lot of cardio. And round 3 pays even more, so maybe go that way too. But yeah, I'm gonna stay away from this one.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, again, maybe just put it in a little parlay or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Michelle Pereira, Andre Petrowski. All right, see, I smoke a lot of pot. Did I start the last one or did you?
I think I did. You start this one off.
Okay, all right. So Michelle Pereira, 5-0 in his last 5, 30 years old, decent striker. I got power in his hands. I like the jab, decent 1-2. Can put some volume out there. He's explosive. I like how he switches stances. I like he's got good leg kicks, good front kicks, in and out. Like I said, I kind of like his footwork. He can win some moments sometimes when he's doing that flashy shit, but he can also, I don't know. I do know that he's been going to decision lately, so I do kind of think he's improved that thing with his gas tank. I like his takedown defense. He's fighting a guy who's going to want to fucking wrestle him. Now, of course, he hasn't fought many wrestlers, though. So, I mean, that's why you can have a pretty good takedown defense when you got a guy who really doesn't do that and he shoots on you because maybe you hurt him or something like that, doesn't get it. It seems like he stopped fucking around so much. the pre-fight dances and all that fucking bullshit. Seems like he's really, really stopped that. More pro experience here. But man, the fucking moving up in weight. Again, fighting mostly strikers. So, the guy's facing has some hands, but his main thing is going to be wrestling. And I think Pereira needs to be the size bully in situations. I don't know if he's going to quite be the size bully here. He's usually a bigger guy, but I don't think that's going to be the case here. Or not much bigger anyway. Suspect cardio, in my opinion. I think he's kind of worked on it because he has been going to decision. I just hope that doesn't rear its ugly head again someday. The guy always is getting older. You know what I'm saying? And I know he's lying about his fucking age. There's no fucking way that fucking dude is 30 years old. Get the fuck out of here.
He's been a pro for almost 12 years as well. So, like, he would have had to have turned, pro at the age of 18, And there's definitely some visa issues there and stuff like that. Dude was fighting all over the world. Sometimes, you hear stories. Yeah.
Yep. And Andre Petrosky, 5-0 in his last fight, 32 years old. He's an okay striker. He wins bombs. He does have power in his hands, with his clenched knees. He's a good wrestler. He gets him about, almost just above a 50% clip. So I like that. Good grappling, good jiu-jitsu. He's a BJJ black belt in Philly, Renzo Gracie gym, baby. So I like that. He was rolling around on the mat with killers. That gym has since imploded. So I hope he's out there still getting some good work in with some good guys. He gets good top control, good ground and pound. He gets you down. Hey, it's a smaller cage. Could work to his advantage. Who knows? He's the kind of guy who has like the kind of cardio where he looks like he's ready to fucking die, but somehow he's pushing through that fucking shit, man. He could get late finishes. That's how you know. He just looks like he's dying, but he can still finish late.
Yeah.
But isn't he coming out of Thailand now too? So long flight to think about. Seems like he's already short notice. All his losses are by finish. Fought mostly grapplers. He closes his fucking eyes when he's fucking throwing punches. What the fuck? Like, Pereira hits kind of hard. You might want to see a punch that's coming from Pereira. You might want to see that before it fucking hits in your face. Maybe suspect competition. And didn't he just fight a couple months ago, like 2 months ago, and got his ass pretty well beat in the fucking third round? Could almost make a case that he got 10-8 in that fucking third round. I like Pereira here. I don't know that he puts the kid. I don't think he puts Petrosky away. It's just so fucking hard because Petrosky's never fucking faced a fucking striker like Pereira. Pereira's never fought a wrestler so it's a tough one. I'm going to go on the Pereira side. I think he can do enough. I think Petrosky's durable enough to where Pereira won't finish him. So I like Pereira by decision. I think you get that at a pretty decent number too.
Yeah, I got 2 units on the over 2.5 rounds here. It opened at plus 150 for some reason. I have no idea why. I was considering max betting it at that price, but max betting an over is just torture. I mean, you literally have to all right, fight starting now. I'm going on a 17-minute walk, to make sure that if the fight ends, I'm, it's terrifying betting overs. So in this case, I really do think that this one goes to the scorecards. I want to bet Petrosky here. I really do. But being in Thailand on vacation, and then taking a fight on less than 2 weeks notice, making that flight is a nightmare. You're my girlfriend just was in Thailand for work. She was telling me the flight back 10 hours from Thailand to Doha, Qatar. And then from Doha, Qatar to the United States, it was, I believe, a 14-hour flight. So, that is just an ungodly amount of time to be on planes, especially if you're a middleweight in the UFC and you're in those, tiny ass little seats. It's a pain in the ass, dude. Now you got to cut weight. He's got to make 185. That's not an easy task for him. But we got to remember that Pereira's been fighting at welterweight. This is a middleweight fight. The UFC is not happy with him right now. You know, I mean, like he blew up that card, you know, like the Wonder Boy fight was supposed to happen. And when he missed weight by that much, he gave Wonder Boy an open door to walk out of. And we've seen him do that before, and they knew it would happen, and he did exactly that. So now they forced him up to middleweight. And I don't think he's going to be as much of a size bully here. And we're going to find out about Michel Pereira's grappling. But the problem is, I don't know if it's a big killing me. Okay. So look, yeah, I mean, I don't think his cardio will be good, and he's gonna have to push a wrestling heavy game plan in order to win this fight. And in order to do that, that's an exhausting type of game plan. So I think Petrosky could win this fight. I just can't get to the money line bet, even at like plus 180. I'm like, man, you know, I want to do this, but I just got a feeling it's going to go into the third round. I'm going to see Petrosky dead on the stool because he didn't have a full camp, and because Pereira's a giant, and he's going to be difficult to take down. I mean, he's stuffed 17 of 18 takedowns thus far in the UFC. That's good. That's very good. So, yeah, man. I'm picking Petrosky to win it by decision. I just hope this goes over 2.5 rounds, though. That's the bet here. And my prop template absolutely loved that bet. These guys have been over 2.5 rounds in their 13 combined UFC fights 11 times. And that's against, you know, they're really good opponents. The guys that they're not going to decision against are bums like Danny Roberts, and for Petrosky, it's I think Hu Yazong, you know, the guy that he finished. You know, I mean, he's not finishing Pereira like he finished Hu Yazong. So yeah, this one is going to be, in my opinion, a decision either way. I could easily see either one of these guys getting it.
What did you get that at? That over 2.5?
Well, I got it when it opened at plus 150, you know, and I punched those lines right in my prop template, and at plus 150, my template was like, dude, bet it big, you know, you're going to, even if you don't like the bet, you're going to get out of this at a much better price. And it's already minus 105. So I've beaten the implied probability by over 10%.
Oh, well, I hope Brady does get you that CLV trophy he's been talking about.
Yeah.
For these fucking things in the last few weeks. So I hope it makes it your way. I like this fight coming up. I really like the next fight. So we got Jonathan Martinez versus Adrian Yanez. I'll let you kick this one off.
This is beautiful, Mushroom. Like you said, man, these are two great prospects. They're neither one of them are even 30 years old yet. Martinez 22 pro fights, Yanez 20 pro fights. These guys have got over 200 combined minutes of UFC cage time. But I like Martinez here. There's a lot of things on paper to like on the Martinez side, in my opinion, here, right? He's got 6 more UFC fights and 120 more minutes in that UFC octagon, facing much higher level competition. And the level of competition that he is facing and beating, especially at the UFC level, better than what Giannis is doing. Jonathan Martinez is the much better grappler. We've actually seen him win minutes with his grappling in the UFC, and his efficiency numbers are really good. And then when you look at the striking, Giannis, very smooth, clean, crisp boxing. But Jonathan Martinez is a kickboxer. He's throwing a lot more kicks. He's got a lot more weapons. There's just a lot of reasons, in my opinion, to like Martinez here. And I think that when you're trying to maintain distance against a boxer, those low leg kicks are so important. And we saw him absolutely finish an orthodox fighter, and we know that Giannis is an orthodox fighter as well, in Cub Swanson with those inside leg kicks. Not a lot of people go to that weapon. Jonathan Martinez kicked him 3 times and the fight was over. So I like Martinez's ability to be able to maintain range with his legs. I like his ability to be able to potentially land the big kicks in this spot. Although the big hands is obviously going to be Giannis. It just depends on how Jonathan maintains range and whether he's able to win some minutes in the fight with his grappling as well. He's not a very aggressive wrestler, but what his counter wrestling is fantastic. His ability to be able to reverse position is fantastic. His get-up game is good, and he's able to keep you down and win minutes on the cage when he doesn't like how it's going in the center of the cage at distance striking range. So for all those reasons, I'm picking Jonathan Martinez to win this fight, but I still think it's going to be very close. I think that these guys are very well matched. Love the matchmaking here. This is a great fight.
I absolutely agree. Great fight. Like you said, two prospects, and I mean, they're coming at the right time in their careers to fight each other. This is a banger. Listen, it was hard for me to go back and forth to try to pick the winner of this fight. I can guarantee 100%. I know who the winner is. The fans. The fans are 100% going to be the winner in this one. But let me get into the betting breakdown. Martinez is 5-0 in his last 5, 29 years old. Striker, again, good kickboxing, like you said. His Muay Thai's good. Power in his hands, good kicks, good leg kicks, head, body. There's all types of shit with his fucking kicks. Good clinch. He's got good step-in knees. Decent clinch work again, like I mentioned. He's decent at range. And the leg kicks against these boxers, like you said, is a huge weapon. He also has some decent counters as well. He can grapple. Probably another huge weapon here he could probably use. He's not the best wrestler, like you said, though, and he's fought better competition. But man, he does get hurt a bunch, man. He gets dropped in fights. He's been knocked out. I mean, on the other side of this fight, though, Adrian Yanez, 4-1 in his last 5. I think he's 29 years old. He's a boxer. I like his boxing. Really do. Fast hands, tactical, power in both of them. Put some pressure on you. He, too, has good counters. I like his defense. I don't think his takedown defense is that shabby. Get him on the ground. The guy is a BJJ black belt. Decent grappler. I like his durability. Okay, Rob Font knocked him out. Rob Font probably didn't even fucking expect to go out there and knock him the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? So I think maybe Giannis might have looked past that, even maybe consider that even a part of the game plan, that could even happen. And, and plus he hasn't been coaching as of late. And that could have been taking a lot of stuff. That could take a lot of your time, I would imagine. You're training less when you're trying to train other people. You're training yourself less. So, but man, he needs to learn how to fucking check a fucking leg kick. His jab defense is like, man, what the fuck am I? Almost non-existent at points sometimes. And he gets bloody up a little bit. All that being said, I like the Yanez side of this fight. I'm playing Yanez on the money line. That is going to be an actual official bet on the Mushroom MMA channel. I only have 3 of them. And the other one was Elkins on the money line is already an official bet. I already placed that bet. I already got the tickets in hand. But Yanez, money line, hell, I like Yanez's fucking strike. His power in his hands, sneaky. Both hands, one hand can catch you. I might even sprinkle some knockout for Yanez as well. I'll tell you what, Uncle Weezy, we disagreed on that fight, and it's a close fight according to the line. How about if we do a shoey bet? I've yet to challenge anybody to a shoey.
Dude, I don't do shoeys, man. I don't do that shit. Yeah.
If it has something to do with marijuana, I'll do something like that with you too.
Yeah, what would be a good one with that? Because I'll take Martinez here. I like him here. But yeah, the thing is, like, I drink good beer. I'm not pouring it into a shoe. That ruins the beer and the shoe. It disrespects both. I try to be a respectful person. All
right, we're gonna figure something out. There's other vessels we can drink something out of. So maybe it'll be maybe just chugging a beer, shots, whatever it is. How's that?
Yeah, we could do that too. For sure.
So that's the bet. I'll DM you, work it out, and then we'll do it on Twitter or whatever, and just show everybody how much fools we are. Either way.
Sounds good. Sounds good, man.
All right. We're getting to the co-main event of the evening. Jennifer Maia versus Vivian Araujo. You can kick us off.
Yeah, so like I don't know what to do with this one. You know, Maya is a solid fighter, but she's 6-5 in the UFC. You know, she's fighting the better brand of competition. She's beating a little bit better brand of competition according to my metric than Araujo is. But Araujo's crispy. She lands big shots. I kind of think that she, you know, like first of all, this fight goes to decision pretty much every time. But if we're going on Bet Online and we're looking at the lines here, right? Um, it's always about the number. It's always about the number, you know, because we shouldn't be betting the fight. We should be betting the number. And Jennifer Maya by points is minus 105, and Araujo by points is plus 170.
Yeah.
One of those numbers is a lot fatter than the other one, you know. And Araujo, I think she kind of does her best work or does her worst work, I should say, when she gets out grappled. And we can't count on Jennifer Maya to really wrestle. So I think that this is kind of like a coin flip. Now, if I cared enough, I'd probably bet it, but I don't care enough, you know. So I just don't. I don't care enough about this fight. So I'm just gonna leave it alone. I could see it going either way. I could see it being one of those fights where people are passionate about their takes on either side, and then it goes to decision. And like so many women's fights, after the decision is read, you're like, what the fuck just happened? You know? So I'm just gonna keep my money away from this one. I but I really do think it's pretty much a coin flip. I think my official prediction is Maya by decision. I like the way that she moves and a couple of fat lines of pepper. That would be horrible.
I'll do it. I'm just saying, I'll do it.
I'm not doing a line of pepper. I'll tell you that. I like pepper on my food, but not up my nose. That is for sure.
I'm almost immune to this stuff, so no worries. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So I'm staying away from this one. The official pick is Maya by decision.
Yeah.
You know, she's a little more experienced. She's the better grappler. She throws a little more volume. So that's what I'm going with. But the plus 170 for Araujo by decision catches my eye a lot more than the minus 105 for Maya, if that makes any sense.
It does. I mean, like you said, this fight's probably going to be close because that's how Maya fights. She fights close.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a big competition that she's doing that too. But just Araujo just seems like she has no fucking head movement. She seems like she gets countered too. I don't like her ground game. I don't like her cardio late.
Yeah.
Seems like she's looking older too.
She is older. She's
Yeah,
37. I mean, like, she's old.
But she's looking older than she's looked, I'd say.
Yeah.
And she looked terrible against Rebus, in my opinion. He-Boss, in my opinion. So, yeah, again, like you said, more UFC experience, pro experience on the other side. I think she might have fought better competition. I'm on the Maya side, too. I was going to do my Maya third round / decision fight, but I just decided I think he's just going to win this fight by decision. So we line up again, sir. I love it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, man. You know, I think this one definitely goes to decision. These ladies have got 14 combined losses. Only 3 of them are inside the distance. So more than 80% of their losses go to decision. All the finishes are pre-UFC. You know, so they're when they're early in their career, you know, so they're really meaningless now. These ladies have been fighting at the UFC level for more than 5 years each. So yeah. This one's going to decision. It's just you're not getting paid much on those decision props.
No, yeah, they're all over that. Well, we made it. We made it to the main event of the evening, and that's it's a fucking banger too. Sadiq Youssef, Edson Barbosa. I'm gonna let you start this one off, Uncle Lee. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, this is a great fight, man. And I'm a little bit worried about the layoff for Youssef. You know, I mean, it's a year-long layoff. The last fight was against Don Shanis. Now, you know, he's got to get comfortable in a fight against Edson Barbosa, who you should be very uncomfortable Every second you're standing in front of this dude. Look, Edson can knock out anybody, man. And oftentimes it kind of happens when you don't think it's going to happen. You know, the Quarantillo fight, he was an underdog. The Burgos fight, I don't remember if he was an underdog or not, but Burgos was hot going into that fight, right? And that performance by Barbosa in that fight, nobody knocks out Shane Burgos. That guy's one of the most durable guys on planet Earth. And Barbosa literally, when made his brain quit, he hit him with such a straight right that it took 3 seconds for the brain to say to Shane, you know what? No, I know you want me to keep going, but I quit. You know, it was like when Homer Simpson was listening to Ned Flanders talk about apple orchards, and his brain said to him, you could stay here, but I'm leaving. And like the brain just kind of went out of his head and just left. And then Homer just fell flat on his face. Like that's, you know, that was what that knockout was. That was nasty stuff. So, so Sadiq, you know, is at a little bit of obviously more than a little bit of an experience disadvantage here, but and he's at a 4-inch reach disadvantage and a 2-inch height disadvantage as well. You know, both of these guys are phenomenal strikers, though. Sadiq is really not going to be out of his depth on the feet. I think this fight ends by KO. You know, I'd be surprised if this fight ended by submission. I see this fight ending by KO inside the distance. I kind of feel like fight doesn't go to decision is like a parlay piece here. Both these guys hit so hard. And, you know, whether it's Barbosa or Yusuf, they've both been knocked out. Yusuf's been knocked out once in his career. Barbosa's been knocked out 4 times in his career. And both these guys are getting dropped. You know, Yusuf's been dropped. Edson Barbosa has been dropped 5 times. You know, so and they both hit so hard. Barbosa with the kicks are just absolutely nasty. So, yeah, I'm looking for someone to get served here. I kind of feel like Barbosa by knockout is a little bit of a sneaky bet this week. Let's see where that's sitting on Bet Online. Barbosa by knockout plus 250. So you could take that plus 143 and get it up to plus 250. That's not great. That I would like fatter odds than that. But who did I even pick? I don't even remember who I picked, to be honest with you. Oh, I picked Barbosa. Barbosa KO3. You know, I really do think that this is kind of like a coin flip. My take on the fight is that the money line, the value money line side is here to take the underdog, because I think that these guys are very similar fighters. Just one of them 7 years older than the other one, right? They're at different places in their career. So because one guy's younger, because one guy's hungrier at this point, you know, a little bit less shop worn, he should be the favorite, Yusuf, you know? But I kind of feel like stylistically, this is pretty close to 50-50.
I agree. I've been going back and forth in this fight, back and forth. On the Yusuf side, I mean, I like his striking, power in his hands, fast, comes forward, likes to try to walk you down. He'll throw some volume. He has good straight punches too. You know, he's explosive. He's got some pace, pressure. His fucking kicks are fast, like lightning fast as well, man. Plus, he can wrestle. You know what I mean? He can get takedowns. I like his cardio. I think Sadiq Yusuf has fucking dog in him as well. You know what I'm saying? He's got a decent shell. And he does well against kickboxing, in my opinion. I got the year layoff that was fucking me up a little bit. And this is like no bullshit. It's some like injuries and like spinal injuries or some shit.
Yeah.
Surgery or something. This might even be like, you know, obviously this is a step up here for him. Wow, he beat Don Sheamus, you know, like, wow. He gets knocked down, man. He gets knocked down. He's kind of fucking chinny. He gets wobbled and shit, man. Like,
yeah,
kind of fucking scary, man. Listen, that's a Barbosa. Get the guy's 37 years old and he's 3-2 in his last 5, but I like his fucking strike. I think he's a good striker. Power. He's got good Muay Thai. I like his knees. Good counter strikes. And he does have that 4-inch reach advantage in his spot. Yeah. Good kicks, legs, body, head, all that shit. Spinning kicks. I like his wrestling. He can grapple. He's the bigger man here. He has momentum going into this. More pro and UFC experience. He's one of those fucking savvy vets. Hoping everyone's just kind of using him. Maybe even after this, he'll probably just be a gatekeeper. Maybe that's how they're trying to use him in this role right here. The thing I don't like about Barbosa is he can be pressured, and he doesn't react well to pressure. I really don't like that. 4 knockouts, he can be chinny. 6 losses are by finish. So that's almost half of his losses. And I think his cardio is not that Sadiq has some great cardio or anything, but I know Barbosa has problems with his cardio, but I think that's more when he's facing grapplers or whatever.
Yeah.
That all being said, like I said, I went back and forth, but I ended up on the other side of this fight. I ended up on the Sadiq Yusuf side, inside the distance. Somebody's getting fucking served here. Something's happening.
Yeah.
So where's that? Sadiq Yusuf by finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not passionate about my take on who's winning the fight. I'm more passionate about somebody getting served, like you said, and it's a great main event. This is a great test for Sadiq Yusuf, and he's got to show us. He's been away for a year. The last one was against Sheamus. He's got some injuries. This is a more experienced opponent that's really good at what he's good at too. So yeah, this is a show me spot for Sadiq Yusuf, and if he passes this test, it's going to look, the future is going to look bright for him.
Mm-hmm. So I think as well, just from a betting perspective, I'm probably going to sprinkle that alternate 3, 4, and 5. I don't even know if it gets that deep, but maybe just a 2, 3, and 4, something like that. But just to order somebody, I think is definitely getting served. I just don't know when. So to answer Brown Belt Dave's question, yeah, I don't know right now where I would stand on that. I am going to sprinkle too because I've been getting fucked with them too. Sprinkling the main events, and they think they're fucking finishing in round 2. Like, what the fuck? I got 3, 4, and 5. Any of those hits, I have a golden night. You know what I'm saying? And they fucking them hitting and fucking they finished in the second round or some shit. So I do actually like the second, third, and fourth round here. So, what do you think about Black Belt Dave's, Brown Belt Dave's answer?
With that under 3.5 opened up at plus 100 and I missed it. And but I think it hits, but it's sitting around minus 150, minus 160 now. It's a little bit different at that price, but ends via KO, I think is a very good look as well. Sadiq, is supposedly working on his wrestling and trying to round out his game, and now would be a great time to show it. So if he does do that, then potentially the submission, could be live. But frankly, I think KO is way more likely here.
Yeah, I agree. I think these dudes are going to be swinging whenever they're near each other and stuff. So, yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Well, Uncle Weezy, that was great. I appreciate you coming, but I just got one more segment I'd like to do real fast, and that's just my official bets. So my official bets are as follows. I like Maya by decision. I'm getting it at minus 110. Not the best. Not, not the proudest bet I ever made, but I think it hits. I like the Elkins. Now, like I said, I've already played Elkins on the money line at plus 150. I played him inside the distance at plus 330. I already hit his round 2 and round 3 sprinkles, but now I'm definitely going to that round 3 sub. I'm going to add that, maybe 2 sub just in case. But so they're my officials. And one more, Yanez on the money line, I got it at minus 112. And for the KO, plus 230. My DGen parlay, 4 legs, is as follows. Jennifer Maya by decision. Michelle Pereira, 3rd round / decision. Maybe I'm going to take that to just a regular decision. So Pereira decision, Rodriguez decision, Chare under 1.5. Put those together. It's probably going to pay more now because I'm changing that 3rd round decision to a regular decision. $25 was going to pay $743. Might be in about the $800 range for $25. So, Uncle Weezy, before you go, please tell the people where they can find you, and the floor is yours.
Yeah, you can find me at MMA Weezy on Twitter. My YouTube channel is Uncle Weezy, and you can find me on Pub Sports Radio every week. Every Saturday for the watch along, we watch along with the fights. Every Sunday for Stat Diggers, my man DFS by the numbers, and then every Wednesday for the DFS show, where it's going to be me, Brady, Gordo, and Monk talking about DFS strategy for the week. And yeah, you can find me on my Patreon as well. If you like the stats that you see on my videos, they are available there, $5, $10, $20 a month, depending on what you're looking for. It's a great way to support my work. And I appreciate you having me on the show today, man. It was a lot of fun. And I hope that we stack cash tickets like flapjacks for UFC Vegas 81. I've only got 3 bets so far. It's the Elkins money line at plus 180, 2 units on the Pereira Petrosky over 2.5 rounds. And then I also took the Christian Rodriguez finish only prop at minus 110 because I think he's a lot more powerful than Cameron. I think he's a lot more durable. And I think in particular, it's his submission game where I think that there's a big gap there in terms of finishability for submissions for Rodriguez and for Simon. I think both of these dudes are incredibly tough. So, yeah, maybe Christian Rodriguez by submission is not a bad sprinkle look for me either this week.
Yeah, I love it. Excellent. Well, Weezy, the only announcement I have is next week's guest will be Liam from Liam Picks Fights. You hang on a second, young man. I'm going to sign out and we'll talk real quick and I'll get you out of here. Well, everybody, you know me. I guess there's only one thing left to say, and that's let's fucking go. Oh, and violence. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.